All right, we're going to wait and see if anybody shows up. Another impromptu live. There we go. Give it a minute. See if anybody shows up. Hey, not quite royal. Hey, you and I, we're the only two people here. How's your day going? Hi, Pinky. I was hoping somebody would show up. Hi, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Oh, let me get in. Well, no, I don't need to get in there. I'll just stay right here. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm in here. Yes, I hope you're too. Share. You've never caught a live? Okay. Just FYI, I'm going to start doing more impromptu lives on Sundays. I said I was going to, and I'm going to start doing that. So, let's talk really quickly. I've been getting a lot of message. Okay, two things. Hi from Brussels. Hi, Teresa. I want to talk about something else, but before I do, yes, I know what's going on with my account. We've discussed this a gazillion times before. Since yesterday morning, YouTube has cut 40 people off my account, and several people have written to me and said they're real. Once again, there's nothing I can do about that. That's YouTube. They think you're not real, or they think your account is old. They think you're a bot. You've broken their terms and conditions. Boop, you're cut off. There's nothing I can do about it too. You guys are just going to have to deal with YouTube on that. Okay. I've spoken to them till I'm blue in the face. I had a talk with somebody yesterday. I'm not getting anywhere. It's a waste of my time. So let's move on for our topic for today. People are asking, well, some emails aren't so nice. You know, you've got all this money. You're going on all these trips. How do you have all this money? Actually, the trips are not that expensive. And so I figured instead of emailing one or two people, I would just do a video on it. So here's the thing. First of all, my husband and I are empty nesters. When the kids were younger, we couldn't just vacation. So now that we're empty nesters, we can go on vacations when school's in session. So we go during low volume times, which is much cheaper. For instance, let me give you a good example. This trip to Italy we just took for my 60th birthday, that we took it in April, the beginning of May. My birthday's not till the end of May. Okay. So why did we go earlier? Well, we went earlier because once we got into the end of May, you're moving into June, the price of the flights doubled. Exactly. Margaret, you got it. Off season. That's it. Exactly. So we decided to go in April. First of all, remember, especially if you go to Europe, they don't have air conditioning. I'm old. I need my air. I hot flashes. Anybody who's up there with me knows exactly what I'm talking about. You have to have air conditioning. When we went to London in 2023, we went in end of October, beginning of November. It was 70 degrees every day with a light breeze. Perfect. Same thing in Naples. I don't think it hit above 81 the whole time we were there. Fabulous weather. Absolutely fabulous. So you want to go off season. That's the first thing. That's the biggest thing. Second of all, because we go off season, we get really good deals, not just on the flights, but also on tickets for entrance fees, hotels. I think the hotel that we stayed in Italy, if you're watching my second channel, you saw it was a restored monastery. It was so cool. So cool. And that hotel, if we had gone during my actual birthday or in June, July, and August, would have been 3 times the cost. So we're able to take nicer vacations because we go off season, and then because we're going off season, the flights are less, the hotel is less, the entrance tickets are less. If we had to go during high season, I don't think we couldn't afford it. We just couldn't afford it. So I don't fly first class. I've never flown first class ever. We do fly premium economy, so I can get that little bit of extra leg room because of my knee issues. And if you're on my other channel, you know what happened on our outgoing flights. That was a disaster. Coming back, they had business class was empty. So they offered an upgrade to business class to $1,400 a person. And I said, too much. Then they dropped it to $900 per person. And we said, too much. Then they dropped it to $500 a person. We grabbed it. So we flew business back. That was an almost 10-hour flight. So also share is right. If you book early enough, we book our vacations like 9-10 months ahead of time. This vacation we just took, we booked like last May. So we book ahead. Also, I'm one of those people. Let me just stop right there. I don't know if they do or don't, but people are like, I can't believe you. You're a grifter. You have a coffee fund. And here you are taking these vacations. I'm like, okay. So let me explain. Let me just tell you what we do. We book the vacations on a credit card with a very low interest rate. And we pay on that credit card over 10 months, almost a year to pay it off. So like, for instance, we didn't go anywhere in 2022 that I can remember. Well, I take that back. We went to Hawaii, but we used the timeshare. So the hotel didn't cost anything. It's a completely different scenario. So in 2022, we booked our trip to London and Rome in 2023, 11 months ahead. And so by the time we went on the trip, the hotel was paid for. The flights were paid for. And the only thing we needed money for were like Ubers and food and entrance fees. So then in 2024, we didn't take a trip anywhere. We didn't fly anywhere because we booked this trip and we put it on the credit card and we paid on it. So by the time we got to Italy, the flight was paid for. The hotel was paid for. And then we just needed the money for Ubers, entrance fees, and food. So if you guys, why people are getting upset. I was about to ask why you're explaining all this. Well, I'm explaining it because people might want to take vacations and you might want to know the trick of it. And the trick of it is I'm not one of those people that likes to go on a vacation and come home and you owe money for the vacation. I don't like that. I like to book it and then over 10, 11 months, pay it off. And then when you get there, you have the money. All you need is money for food and entrance fees and whatever. And of course, again, we go off season, which you save a lot of money going off season. You really, really do. So you guys can take some really nice vacations and stay out of debt if you just do it that way. There you go. That's our secret. So what if somebody, I've had that coffee fund for years. You guys know how much I love my coffee, drinking it as we speak. And I actually, during COVID, for those of you who've been with me a long time, I don't know if you remember back when I got COVID and I had double COVID pneumonia and I was on oxygen at home for a month and our income was like gone because I got so sick and the economy was sucking. And so one of the things I gave up was coffee. I just stopped coffee. And then I started the coffee fund and you guys donated and I started drinking coffee again because I could afford it. So, here's an interesting one. I put everything on my Royal Caribbean card to get cruise points. Yeah, you know what? We looked at that. What I didn't like was the interest rate on these cards. I wouldn't give my mother 23% interest. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't do it. But you do have to book ahead of time to get the best deals. So I do use a credit card, but we have a credit card with the credit union that I think is like at 9%. We've had it for years and years and years. You just don't find that anymore. So we decide where we want to go, we book it, and then we pay it off. Because again, I don't like to come back and find a bill waiting for me when I get home from vacation. So now we're trying to decide what to do next year because we need to go ahead and book. So my husband hasn't seen a lot of the United States. He'd like to see a lot of the United States. I'd like to go to Brussels or Spain. So we're having these arguments over where we should go, what we should do. He's never seen San Francisco. He's never been to Washington State. I was thinking maybe go to Washington and then go to Alaska from there. We'll see. What does this say? Well, I put utilities that I would have to pay every month anyway, but then I get the points and I pay. Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. You could do it that way. See, my brain doesn't go that way. I totally get what you're saying. You could put it all on the credit card and then just pay the credit card off and you get the points. Yeah, I don't know why my brain just doesn't go that way. I pick the flight, I pick the hotel, I book it all, and then I throw all my money onto that card over 9 months to get it paid off. Somebody else said I should go to Portugal. Maybe that's where I need to go. I don't, like I said, this time my husband wants to go somewhere in the United States, and I've never seen Alaska either. So it very well may be that we'll see Washington State and, a few things here and there. And then maybe we'll go to, on a cruise to Alaska. We do love cruising. And again, if you go off season, it's like half the price. Crazy. Now, one other thing I did look at, don't laugh. I looked at river cruises. Have you guys ever looked at river cruises? Like they have a Mississippi river cruise. They want like $9,000 for 8 days on a riverboat. I'm like, for that much money? My God, that's like more than what we paid to go to Italy, to Naples. I mean, I can't. I can't spend that kind of money and stay in the United States. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Oh, hi from the Netherlands. Now, one of my friends at my son's graduation party last night, they did a tour that she said took them to Brussels, Portugal, and where else did she say they went? She said it was like 3 stops in 8 days, but she said the problem was you weren't there long enough to really enjoy each place. Like you needed and that's why we stayed in Naples, because there was underground Naples one day, there was Capri one day, there was a cooking class one day, there was Pompeii one day. When you consider you can't count the day we arrived and you can't count the day that we left. We actually were only there for 8 days, and 5 or 6 of those days we had something going on the whole time. So Maldives, isn't that where you're supposed to wear like a bathing suit? And yeah, no. Nowhere where I have to wear a bathing suit. See, the Alaska cruise, you got to be bundled head to toe, especially if you're going off season. That's perfect for me. Perfect, because it'll be nice and cold. So essentially, I just wanted to, Monaco. Courtney, that's a good one, dude. That's a good one. I hadn't thought of that either. I just wanted to, so essentially this live is just to let everybody know that you too can take these great trips. It's not like they're $20,000, $30,000 trips. If you go off season, if you book 9-10 months in advance, you can get really, really, really good deals. And a lot of these places are offering free airfare and free this and free that. And not quite royal. I was in London in 2023, and we were in London for a week. Then we were in Rome for a week. I would love to go back to London. I don't feel like I had a chance to see everything. I never got into Buckingham Palace. Lisa Slaymaker says we're going to Vegas. I've done all that, but my husband hasn't. He's never seen Las Vegas. I think he would just like die to see the Strip. But we're trying to decide now what we want to do. He would like to stay in the United States. I don't want to just fly to San Francisco and walk around. I don't. So, oh, somebody said I'm saving for William's coronation. Anyway, that's another thing. Thank you very much. The last person who emailed me and said something to me, I was like, I don't want to say their name, but it was something to the effect of, you're a grifter. Because why do you have an Amazon wish list? Okay, well, I have a coffee fund. It's a tip jar. Well, you're a grifter. I'm like, are you paying to watch me? No, you're getting free content. The coffee fund is a tip jar. I think it was about a year ago, some people complained that they didn't want to give cash. They preferred to buy something for one of the animals. So then I did the Amazon wish list, and there's stuff on the Amazon wish list. And a couple of people wanted to send me things for the animals. So hence I got a PO box. So it doesn't make me a grifter, people. Unless you're telling every single person in the world who's got a coffee fund that they're a grifter, you need to go get off my channel. Been doing this almost 5 years now. Let's see, whatever. Carla is asking, how are my knees? I haven't seen the doctor yet. And Carla, I have the steroids in the house and I haven't taken them. I hang my head in shame. I don't want to take them until the doctor sees my knees. I still have a big bruise on this knee and it still hurts to touch. The left one doesn't hurt. The right one, I got a bad feeling they're going to x-ray it and find something. That's honestly what I think. They're gonna tell me I cracked my knee or something, because when I fell hard right in the middle of Naples. Anyway, okay. Does anybody have any specific questions about the travel stuff? And again, let me tell you something. We looked, Lisa, that was very painful. You have no idea. And I just stood up and kept walking. If anybody has any questions about the booking, or, if you have any questions about that, but like I said, I'm one of those people, I don't like to book a trip and then come home and there's a bill. So we book 9-10 months in advance. Now, if I had booked business class round trip to Naples, it was over $10,000. That's why I didn't do it. I did premium business. Premium business gives you everything you get in business except the lay flat bed, but your chair does go back much further. And no, I do it myself. I don't use a travel agent. So I use premium. Now, $10,000. So our flights round trip in premium was $6,000. Okay. For both. For both people. But for an extra $1,000, we were coming home. We only had 2 flights, from Naples to Philadelphia and then Philadelphia home. From Naples to Philadelphia, we got an upgrade, both of us, for a total of another $1,000. So we got the business class coming home on a 10-hour flight for an extra $500 per person. So we ended up saving $3,000. Now, that's not always going to happen. You're not always going to get that upgrade. I needed it for my knees, and the wheelchair took me right up to the door and right off the door. And Foxy, if you go to my second channel, I've got videos dropping showing Pompeii. Capri is coming up. The cooking class is coming up. And then I make the tiramisu and I show you how to make it as we were taught in Italy. This is all coming up on my second channel. So, Anastasia, where's your question, Anastasia? I don't even see your question. Don't you get paid from YouTube? We do. We get 0.03 cents an ad. Unless you have, like Popcorn Palace has like 850,000 subscribers. Unless you have those kinds of numbers, it's not like you can live off YouTube. I mean, I'm retired from the hospital. I didn't retire. I retired to do YouTube, but it's not the same salary. I mean, I made a hell of a lot more as an ER nurse. Let me tell you, it just is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're expecting me to be a millionaire from YouTube, that's not happening. Especially with the fact that they're still cutting people off my channel. Since yesterday, they have cut 40 people off my channel. Every time I get close to flipping, they start cutting people off my channel. This is just what they do. I'm getting emails from people. I've been unsubscribed again. When I reached out to YouTube, they said that they unsubscribe people, that they think their accounts are fake. They think you're not real, you're a bot, or you've broken their terms and conditions and they get rid of your stuff. Okay, question. How was Finn? Finn was very snuggly when we got home. I was a little upset with the board. Okay, we tried a new boarding facility where we usually take him, had raised its price to $65 a day. I was like, that's a lot. So around the corner from us is a boarding facility. We went in, we looked around, we liked it. They're $30 a day. So we put Finn there. They have a texting system where they can text people that are on vacations and send you pictures of your animals and let you know how they're doing. So their system was down. So I got nothing from them. I called them once from Italy. It's like 35 cents a minute. I did ask them if they could send me a picture on their private numbers. They said they're not allowed to do that. So he was happy when we came home, though. He was fine. Foxy said, I never knew you were retired. I'm turning 60 next week, and I retired early. Yep, we all have the same issues. I caught, Foxy, I don't know if you know this, I caught COVID, and then everybody else in the house recovered and I didn't. And I turned out I had double COVID pneumonia in both lungs. And then I was on oxygen for a month. And then they wanted me to come back to work. And I started having problems at work, keeping up. And then I'd have to give a medication to a patient. And it's a medication that I've given 10,000 times. And I couldn't remember how to give it. And I started having memory issues, and I was told I had long COVID, and I could have looked it up constantly, but I just, frankly, I was afraid I was going to hurt somebody. I didn't want to hurt anybody. So I retired early due to COVID. So there are some videos that I did back when I was having COVID, and I mean, I could not breathe. It was one of the scariest things in my life. It's so hard to want to take a breath and you can't get it in. It's like really scary. Carla, it's called The Secret Life of Sue. And if you go to my regular channel, it's one of the preferred channels at the bottom. And also you can just type in The Secret Life of Sue, and the profile picture is Finn. It's my little Finster who's sitting behind me right now. Hi, Finn. He's sitting behind me. Anastasia, I remember that. Yeah, it was not good. I remember my husband telling me that when the ambulance came to take me away, because they weren't allowing people in the hospital, he said when the ambulance came to take me away, he said he didn't think he was going to see me again because that's how sick I was. It was really ugly. And then for those of you who don't know, my oldest son, took the COVID shot. And 3 days later, he came to me and said his chest was hurting, and he went down to the local Doc in a Box, and they did an EKG, and he had a horrible EKG, and they sent him by ambulance down to the hospital where they put him in for myocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart muscle. And that is a known side effect of the COVID shot in white males from age 20 to 30, and he was like 21 at the time. So, and they put him in the hospital for that. His heart was inflamed. It was not good. Do I still, some stuff? Yeah, some stuff. Obviously not everything. I still drive a car, but some stuff I do have trouble. I mean, medications that's serious. You don't want to be tending to somebody who needs a life-saving medication and you don't remember the right dosage. And I just was like, I could see where that was going. And I just decided I didn't want to hurt anybody. So, Lisa goes, it's like it never happened. Actually, that's not true because I still have some breathing issues and I now have an inhaler that is also a byproduct of the double pneumonia I had. So, let's see. I think WME have been in talks. Oh, that very well could be. That could be. I think I'm one of there are some other channels that cover the royals, like all the royals, but I think I'm one of the few that, there aren't that many that cover just, all the royals. Now, there are some new channels out there. I was shocked by some of the information. People write to me, did you hear what this guy said? He said that Meghan went into Netflix and brought Doria, and Doria was yelling. I'm like, did they show any proof of that? And the answer was no. That's because it didn't happen. Okay. You have a lot of new channels that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Not salacious. They're, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys, they tell a lot of lies for clicks. They're clickbait. Because people want to hear the salacious stuff, but it's not real. And then people will write to me and say, did you hear so-and-so said this? Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard it, but it's not true. And, if it's, a lot of us will say, I'll get in touch with another creator, or they'll get in touch with me and say, have you heard this rumor? I'm like, yep, I heard it. Can you prove it? Nope. She goes, yeah, I couldn't prove it either. I'm not putting it out. I said, neither am I. I don't put out stuff I can't prove, or that's not in mainstream media, because then you get, as Lynn just said, a lot of false rumors going around, and that's not good. And the rumors spread like wildfire. Yes, they do. Does anybody really believe that Meghan Markle brought Doria into a meeting with Netflix to yell at them? I mean, come on. As a retired RN, this may knock you off your feet. Yeah, especially in the ER. You are running from the minute you walk in the door till the minute you leave. You are on your feet. And I just couldn't keep the pace anymore. So anyway, yeah, you have to sift through the crap like Emerson. Good comment, Lisa. You're right. You have to sift through the crap. Okay, so anyway, in the future, when you want to book a trip, if you can, if you don't have small children and you have to go by school schedule, or you're homeschooled and then you can go any way you want, go off season, book early, and pay it off before you go, so that you can go on that vacation and really enjoy yourself and know that you're not going home to a bunch of debt. Because I don't like debt. I don't like to be in debt. So are there any other questions about the vacation stuff? Anybody any questions? And I am going to look into some of the suggestions that you guys put up for vacations. I never even thought of going to see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. It's out of my head. It's where the princess lived. She was an American. She married royalty, and she's the mother of the current prince who's married to Charlene. But I can't think of the name of the place. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the memory stuff. I know what it is, but I cannot pull the name out of my head. What's the name of it? Monaco. Thank you. That's the memory stuff that happens to me. I know what I want to say, and I can tell you everything about it, but the one word that I need will not come out of my brain. That's part of the memory stuff. Courtney wants to know, did I bring home a bottle of wine? No, you're not allowed to. Like, I wanted to you can't bring cheese. I had a friend that asked me for a block of Parmesan. You can't bring cheese. You can't bring meat. You can't bring all of this stuff. And the wine would have had to have gone in my carry-on, because if you put it in your suitcase, it'll explode during the pressure, and there's only so much you're allowed to bring. And then somebody else said, what did you enjoy most about your trip? Okay, I'm not going to lie, the food. I did not diet on that vacation. Again, on the other channel, food, pizza, pasta. There was a bakery, I guess you'd call it a bakery, down from our hotel. We would go down there and we'd say, we want 3 of this and 2 of that. And we want some of this and some of this and some of this. And, in the United States, it would be $30. And she goes, €5, please. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Yes, Lynn, you have a question? She has a question. Oh, people like my hair. You know what this is? This is cold. I got sick of dyeing it. That's what this is called. Am I on antidepressants? No, I'm not on antidepressants. Did I feel sad at Pompeii? Yes. And I do say that in my video on my other channel. When you realize that there had been an earthquake, like a few years before Vesuvius blew, and the super wealthy people moved out. And so this left the lower and middle class to move up, and they rebuilt everything. And then they were killed, and everything was just covered and perfectly preserved in this ash. It was amazing. And yet it was very sad. Oh, I have to say no to the phone call. It was amazing, but yet it was sad. It was sad because you realize how these people died. There were casts of people. Again, in my video on my other channel, this one guy, there's a cast of him sitting with his hands over his face like this because he's trying to block the ash from his face. But we all know that's not how they died. They didn't die from the lava. They didn't die from the ash. There was I believe it's called a pyroclastic cloud that like whoom onto them. And this is disgusting to say, but this is how it literally boiled their brains and their skulls. They were dead in seconds. These people just like, boop, they were gone, just gone. So they didn't suffer over extended periods of time. So, yeah, but it was sad, but interesting to see pyroclastic flow. Thank you. Pyroclastic cloud. But it was interesting to see how they lived. All these takeaway stores with the, the pots where they used to keep the food. And antidepressants. Yeah, no, I'm okay. Funny, my hair is not thick. Let me just say, my hair was 10 times thicker than this. And then I lost half of it. I lost half my hair volume with COVID, and it never came back. COVID did some really crazy stuff to me. It was, yeah. And I never caught it again. Although I've been told the new strain, I don't know, because obviously I'm not working at the hospital anymore, but I've been told that the new strains of COVID do not give you pneumonia and stuff anymore. They don't make you as sick as they did when they first came out. So, Herculaneum, I didn't want to go near the volcano. And I was told it was quite the hike. And with my knees, I knew I'd never make it. So I did not go to Herculaneum. I did go to underground, which with the steps, it was like 400 something steps down and then back up. So we did that. And this underground Naples, and we did Pompeii, and we did Capri, which was, wait till you see that video. I went down this road. My God. I haven't walked that much in a long time. So, anyway. All right. So listen, I just wanted to do this really quickly. I'm at 35 minutes. So we're going to cut it off. But, so now you guys know how now you know how we're affording these vacations, and it's not rocket science, and you too can afford these vacations. Book early, book off season, and pay it off before you go anywhere. And that way you come home to no debt and a great vacation. And now we're ready to book the next one. And that's how you do it. Okay. If you have any other questions, you guys know you can email me, but don't forget to go to my second channel because you're definitely going to want to see the video of me making tiramisu for you and giving you the actual recipe that we paid for in Naples. You're not going to want to miss that. Okay. All right. I hope everybody has a fabulous afternoon. Enjoy your Sundays, and we'll see you later. Bye.